Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with amazing physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, wages a never-ending battle for truth and justice. Today, the secret of Superman's double identity moves closer to exposure as Biggie Conroy, the racket boss, delivers an ultimatum to a famous surgeon.
Get this, Dr. Bushmill. That wounded guy in the next room knows something I want to know. See? You gotta save his life so he can tell me.
Now, you listen to me, Mr.
Conroy's your name, Doctor. Biggie Conroy, and you're listening to me. I warn you. Don't let Willie Snyder die, because if you do, you'll die too.
Gang, is there a little death trap in your home? I'm not kidding. I mean that seriously. And before I'm through with what I have to tell you, the meaning of that startling question will be perfectly clear. The reason I ask that question, for which, incidentally, the answer is always yes, is that there are more accident hazards found in the average home than anywhere else. Statistics show that on an average, 88 men, women, and children are killed, and 360 are permanently maimed or disfigured, while 12,640 are variously injured or temporarily disabled, all as a result of accidents that happen in the home. That should demonstrate to you that home disasters, which account for half the fearful toll of all accidents, are the most dreaded enemy to our well-being. And another appalling fact is that although some accidents are admittedly unavoidable, most of them can and should be prevented. Yes, in a majority of instances, the simple application of common sense could have prevented accidents that resulted in near death. Doesn't it make you wonder how it can be possible for terrible things to happen where you most expect to be safe in your home? But when you think about it, you'll begin to realize that yesterday or last week or even today, you or someone in your house narrowly missed being hurt by something that happened in your house. Why, a simple thing like a loose rug can take more lives and maim more limbs than a military booby trap. Stay with us, and in just a little while, I'll tell you more about this.
And now, the adventures of Superman. When Superman discovered that an ex-convict named Willie Snyder had made off with a spare costume from the apartment he occupies as Clark Kent, he hurriedly summoned his friend, the famous Batman, and told him...
This can mean only one thing, Batman. That now somebody else besides you and I knows the secret of my double identity. And unless we can prevent him from revealing my secret to the underworld, my service to humanity, my very life, may be ended.
Upon investigation, Superman and Batman learned that Willie Snyder had been seriously wounded in a gun battle with a police officer, but had escaped. Then they traced him to an abandoned building, but there lost his trail. Meanwhile, as they, the police, and Robin, Batman's young companion, searched desperately for Snyder, the ex-convict made his way to the home of Biggie Conroy, a big-time racket boss. Then, when Conroy's doctor told the racketeer that only one man, a famous surgeon named Dr. Bushmill, might be able to save Snyder's life, Conroy gave orders for Dr. Bushmill to be abducted. And now, the outraged surgeon stands before the lumbering, hulking racketeer.
Look, Dr. Bushmill, there's a guy here with a bullet near his heart. I understand you're the only man who could get it out and save the guy's life, so get busy.
You must be out of your mind, Conroy. You think you can bring me here at gunpoint and then expect me to operate on a man wanted by the police? A man who, I'm told, shot a police officer.
Be smart, Doctor. Do like I say, and nothing will happen to you.
You must be mad if you think you can get away with anything like this. I advise you to call the police at once and have them pick this man up. They'll take him to the city hospital where he'll get proper medical attention.
But, Doctor, if the police knew Snyder was here, I'd get in trouble, see?
I don't care anything about
But I care. I care a lot, see? Besides, and this is most important, Snyder knows something I want very much for him to tell me. And he can't tell me.
I refuse to be a party to this. Now, I'm going to call the police right now.
Put down that phone.
Nothing doing.
Chopin, show Dr. Bushmill your gun.
Yeah, sure. Look, Doc. Pretty, ain't it?
Why, you wouldn't dare shoot me.
Don't be a sucker, Doc.
Better hang up that phone.
No.
Now you're showing some sense, Doc.
Okay, don't waste any more time. Go on in and operate on Snyder.
No, I won't do it. It's against the law for me to operate on this man.
Don't worry, Doc. We won't turn you in.
Besides, it's impossible for me to operate here. I haven't the proper equipment or an anesthetist.
The boys brought your medical bag along, and Doc Crandall, the guy who's in there with Snyder now, he'll give you a hand. Now stop wasting time.
Yeah, my trigger finger's getting very itchy.
But Oh, very well.
Good. Now remember, don't let Snyder die. Because if you do, you'll die too. Now get going.
Hello, Lois.
Oh, hello, Chief. I'm so glad you came over.
What's the idea of calling me away from City Hall?
Well, you see, Chief...
You and Kent and the rest of the staff run the Daily Planet without bothering me every 5 minutes?
It isn't about the paper that I called you.
In case you've forgotten, I'm the mayor now. That's a big job. Keeps me plenty busy.
I know you're busy, Chief, and I'm busy, too, but I'm worried. I don't know what to do, and you've got to help me.
Well, why, of course, Lois. I'll help you. Now, what's gone wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with me. It's Clark.
Kent?
Yes, he's been acting very strangely, Chief.
Well, that's nothing new for Kent. Always disappearing, heaven knows where, never explaining,
no,
never
it isn't that. He's been acting so nervous.
Nervous?
Yes, he jumps at the slightest sound. He says things that don't make any sense, and, well, I think that he is scared to death.
Scared? Of what?
I don't know, and he won't tell me. Of course, I know Clark isn't what you'd call exactly brave, but he didn't used to jump like this when he saw his own shadow.
Well, maybe he's working too hard, or maybe he's a little under the weather.
I asked him if he was sick.
Well?
He said he never felt worse in his life, but when I wanted to call a doctor, he wouldn't let me. He said a doctor couldn't help his trouble.
Well, what does that mean?
I don't know. That's why I'm worried, Chief. So Jim Olson and I talked it over, and we decided I ought to call you.
I'm glad you did. I'll see Kent, and I'll tell...
Listen, Lois, did that...
Oh, hello, Clark.
Oh, hello,
See how
Chief.
strange he looks, Chief? Look at him.
How are you, Kent?
Okay, I guess. Listen, Lois, have you heard from Batman?
Batman? Why, no.
Oh, hang it.
Well, what's the matter now?
Why should Batman call you?
Oh, no reason, I guess, or he would have called.
Huh?
What kind of double talk is that?
What about Inspector Henderson? Did he call?
Why, no.
Oh, he promised to let me know at once if he picked up Willie Snyder.
Willie Snyder.
You mean that ex-convict who shot the police officer?
Yes, but unless I find him and fast, my name will be mud.
What's this?
What do you mean, Clark?
Snyder knows who I am.
What?
What?
I said Snyder knows... What am I saying?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
As if everybody didn't know who I am.
You see, Chief?
Yes. Now, look, Kent, you've been working pretty hard. Now, how would you like to take a little vacation?
Vacation? Unless I get a break, I may be taking a permanent vacation.
Now, what kind of talk is that,
Now,
Clark?
look, Kent, how would you like to go down to Florida for a few weeks? All expenses paid, of course.
How can I, Chief?
Or how about the North Woods, Clark? You've always liked the outdoors.
Don't be ridiculous. I have... I'll get it.
No, wait a minute. That's my phone,
Maybe
Clark.
for me. Clark Kent speaking. Oh, yes, Farber. What do you know?
Who's Farber?
Harry Farber, our new police reporter.
Oh.
Is that so? Well, hold on. I'll have the operator connect you with the city... Say, wait a minute. Did you say Dr. Asa Bushmill, the famous surgeon?
Dr. Bushmill?
What about him?
It is, eh? Well, look, Harry, wait there for me. I'll be down at once.
What is it, Clark?
What about Dr. Bushmill?
Someone saw him being forced into a car at gunpoint by two thugs.
What?
Good heavens.
This might be a hot lead.
Lead
What do
to
you
what?
mean?
You know, Willie Snyder was badly wounded before he disappeared.
That's right.
It could just be that he holed up someplace in the underworld and that it was his pals who grabbed Dr. Bushmill in an effort to save his life.
But, Kent, listen.
No
now you
time now. I'm going out to track this down.
Rushing out of Lois Lane's office, Clark Kent is soon on his way to the Metropolis Hospital as Superman. Kent has made a correct deduction, but will he be able to trace Dr. Bushmill to Willie Snyder? We'll be back in a moment for the tense climax of today's episode, so keep listening.
Gang, I'm not here to frighten you. My only purpose in telling you about accidents in the home is to put you on the alert against them, and, if possible, to help you prevent having them happen to you. A little while ago, I told you that loose throw rugs on the floor are a menace, and I mean that. But accidents due to loose rugs can be prevented simply by coating the underside of them with a slip-proof material, or, better yet, by tacking them down. Bathrooms are accident hazards, too, if you're not wary. Be very careful when you climb in or out of your tub. Play safe by putting a rubber mat in the bottom of the tub. Don't lean against windows or window screens. Some terrible falls have resulted from such carelessness. The same thing goes for stair rails and porch railings, because often an invisible dry rot has weakened the supports. Next to falls, the worst killer in the home is fire. Avoid the use of matches, and don't play with the electrical wiring in your house. Another important thing to remember is never, and I mean never, touch any medicines unless they are administered by an adult, because many violent sicknesses and even deaths result from taking internally something that seems to be the right thing, but turns out to be poisonous. Here's something else. Keep away from, don't touch firearms that may be found in your home. More than 100 people die every year as a result of I didn't know it was loaded kind of accidents. So don't forget, be smart, play safe, so that you may remain alive and healthy.
And now, back to the adventures of Superman. His fine, distinguished face looking haggard, Dr. Asa Bushmill has just emerged from a room in the house of Biggie Conroy, the racketeer chieftain. Wearily, the famous surgeon enters the living room, where Conroy is seated in an easy chair as he listens to the music played on a piano by his henchman Chopin. As the doctor comes into the room, Conroy stands for a moment. He stares at the physician. Then, with a sharp wave of his hand, he barks an order.
Hold it, Chopin. Well, how'd it go, Dr. Bushmill?
Yeah, how's Willie?
Will he live?
I don't think so.
Huh? What? Now, look here, Doc. I warned
Save
you
your
that you...
breath, Mr. Conroy. Even though you forced me to come here, I am, first of all, a physician with a duty to my fellow man.
So what does that mean?
It means that I did my very best to save him.
Why do you say he won't live?
Because the operation was delayed too long. The bullet had penetrated the heart
I
wall.
don't care about that. I say the guy has got to live.
I've done everything I could.
Well, you got to do more. He must live long enough to tell me something I must know.
I'm sorry. Told you I've done my best.
Look, Doctor, maybe you can do something that'll bring him around for a minute or two, just long enough so he can talk. I'll pay you big dough if you can. Big dough.
Your money doesn't interest me any more than your threats, Mr. Conroy. But I think the patient will probably regain consciousness before the end.
Yes?
Due to the stimulant I gave him. However, I forbid you to question him.
Are you kidding?
Definitely not. I forbid
Oh,
you.
yeah? I'd just like to see you stop me. Keep your eye on this guy, Chopin. I'm going to go sit by Willie until he comes to.
Brushing Dr. Bushmill aside with one contemptuous sweep of his huge arm, Biggie Conroy walks into the room where Willie Snyder, ex-convict, lies unconscious. Will Snyder reveal the secret of Superman's double identity to the racketeer before he dies? And what of Superman, who is now at Metropolis Hospital, where he hopes to pick up the abducted Dr. Bushmill's trail? What success will he have? Tomorrow's episode is packed with thrills, action, and surprises, fellows and girls, so be sure to listen. Tune in, same time, same station, for Chapter 6 of The Mystery of the Stolen Costume on The Adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC Comics magazine and is brought to you Monday through Friday at this same time. This program came from New York. Stay tuned to your mutual station for Captain Midnight, which follows in just a moment. And right after Captain Midnight, you will hear Tom Mix and his Ralston Straight Shooters. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.